There's a movement that was started. It was introduced on the Joe Rogan podcast, I believe, on June 19th.
Right around there, yeah.
Right around there.
Yeah.
A gentleman by the name of Brett Weinstein was the guest that day. And I learned about it because you and I were having some talks about the origins of COVID. And you're like, hey, you should go listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. And he did. And he also mentioned this, they're kind of spitballing. How do we fix the political system in America? And so he proposes this idea, and I guess it caught on.
Okay.
Because on July 4th, they pretty much launched the effort to put a presidential ticket in front of the people of the United States for the 2020 election, which is an insane timeline.
It's a very aggressive timeline.
But I've been following it, and it looks like it's going to happen.
So explain what it is, because you're better at explaining complex ideas, right? Like, I understand it conceptually, but I'm terrible at articulating.
I'll give it a shot. I would recommend that everyone who wants to learn more about it goes to their website, because it looks like they have a bunch of talented people on the PR side, and they've done it. They've put really good videos with Matt Taibbi, The Hill, Joe Rogan, and some other people with Brett kind of explaining it. And he actually is way better at me than explaining stuff very well. But the idea is that instead of having these nominees by parties, the parties are the problem, not necessarily the candidates. And their idea is to draft a candidate kind of one to a little bit to the left of the middle and a little bit to the right of the middle, and have them agree to govern as a team. And after they're chosen, after they're drafted and they agree, flip a coin to see who will be president or vice president. So that's not an issue when selecting the candidates. And you're selecting candidates who are courageous, capable, and patriotic, which sounds easy. But if you try to think of someone with all three of those qualities, it's actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
So this has been happening for a while, and I guess they had a nomination process, and as part of that nomination process, the top 6 candidates were just announced just before the show. Okay. And so I was like, these are people that we've all heard of before. Okay. So I'd like to announce who they are.
Yeah, let's hear
live on RecruiterCast.
So what is it called?
It's called. That's a great question.
Thank you.
It's called Unity2020.
Okay, Unity2020.
Yeah, and if you search for the hashtag Unity2020, you can find all sorts of information on it on social media. Their website is articlesofunity.org. Okay. And they are having a presidential primary, a national online primary, bypassing the states for the purposes of this, what they say is an emergency. That'll be happening probably in the next couple of days. Okay. So on that site, if you put in just your email and your zip code, you'll get access to a ballot, assuming you're in the United States. Okay. Okay. Yep. But the candidates they have announced these are in alphabetical order. Dan Crenshaw. Okay. Congressman out of Texas. Congressman from Texas. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. From Hawaii. Yep. General William McRaven.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yes. Yeah. The Make Your Bed guy.
Yeah, Make Your Bed.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to his speech, it'll make you feel lazy.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah. Even if you do a lot.
Yes.
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Former governor of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Nice. Okay.
And
very left guy.
He's a very patriotic guy. Yeah. He's very courageous. I did not know that he was a serviceman in Vietnam. Yeah, Navy SEAL. Until recently. Andrew Yang.
Love Andrew
who a lot of people think had some great ideas, but was snuffed by the Democratic Party.
The machine. Yeah.
For reasons that there's plenty of podcasts on. We're not going to get into that shit here. And then my favorite, John Jocko Willink.
Love Jocko.
Who makes Jesse feel lazy.
Jesse looks like a slouch compared to Jocko Willink.
And McRaven. Those guys all feel
those guys
like
are mailing
insignificant when they look at Jocko and his 4:33 a.m. watch photo on Instagram.
Well, I mean, let's just keep it real, okay? So one of the guys on there, Crenshaw, ex-Navy SEAL. I mean, Jocko was his instructor when he went through Navy SEAL training. Yeah. So I mean, this guy's a savage.
We've got three 3 former SEALs. Tulsi is actually
Active duty.
She's active duty National Guard and actually on deployment this weekend. She missed some podcast engagements because
That's remarkable.
That's
remarkable.
And then, Ventura, McCraven, Crenshaw, and Jocko are all ex-military. And then Andrew Yang, very smart, got revolutionary ideas.
Yeah.
And so, I'd say this is interesting to us because we've been talking about it and we've watched it unfold. As an invitation to anyone who's frustrated, take a look. See if it resonates with you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, troll them.
I think
you always do.
I think the thing that's interesting about that is, like, out of that list, there is no career politician. Like, there's no career politician.
Even the current ones are new, and hopefully not under the talons of the duopoly.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept when I heard it. I was very, very surprised at how quickly it gained momentum.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised with how aggressive the timeline it is. Just to even raise awareness to the general population about, hey, there are other options here. You don't just have to have pizza or, McDonald's for dinner. You can actually have a healthy meal somewhere in the middle, right?
It's at Jocko's house.
Yeah, you can have Get Fresh if you want. It's at Jocko's and it's fat free. You'll feel motivated afterwards. You'll have to help with the dishes because that's what we do. We make our own beds. But anyway,
so
that's awesome.
I'd love to see it have an impact, have a positive impact, and it would be wonderful to feel not frustrated.
Yeah.
Half the time.
I think a lot of people feel that way, right? Like, it's what was the quote I heard? Clowns to the left, jokers to the right, and here I am stuck in the middle, right? Yeah. Something along those lines,
Tommy Mac.
Tom McManus, straight from the horse's mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, congratulations to those 6 who have, against their will, been drafted to get the shittiest job, arguably, in the world.
Yeah.
So there we go. We tied it back to recruiting
there it is.
and employment.